Welcome to Homie Only Chat Episode 4, where if you're not a homie, there's the door.
Wait, who added the goat?
Yeah.
Who was that? Was that Jill? I heard it.
goat.
I heard
Didn't
it
hear me,
briefly.
though.
Yeah, that was a good goat right there.
Dustin taught me how to do that.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Dustin.
frog
I
venom,
asked-
right?
The goat.
Yeah, frog venom. I asked him
Yeah.
to teach me. how to
That door
sound like a
noise
goat.
was impeccable.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been trying to get into voice acting. It's really hard to get into, surprisingly.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you coming by, Saxon. Saxon's actually, we said come over at the house at 1:30 p.m. It's actually 5:40 p.m.
Wow.
It took a little while.
I thought it was like
Yeah. Well, we tried a new setup, and
It looks good. Look at us.
honestly, I don't think I'm ever going to do this setup, this setup ever again.
I got the special setup.
Yeah, this is the only time. Then
gotta-
I'm going
you
back to
gotta-
the other area.
You got to try a bunch of different things before you
Mhm.
know what you like, man.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
That applies to all areas of life.
Oh, I didn't post anything, but
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. They'll find it.
They'll find it. They'll know.
If any of my mods are watching, if you could just press add everyone and post a screenshot.
Yeah.
I'll reward you highly. But yeah, okay. If you wanna start the
Yeah,
intro.
let's kick it off, man. Welcome to Homie Only Chat, episode 4. We got Saxon and Jill on today.
They finally let me in. It only took me 4 episodes.
Jill, you're on episode 1, and then we deleted that episode. But
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
hidden
for sure.
files, the Homie Only hidden files.
mhm.
But yeah, honestly, we're just gonna hop right into it. I was definitely on my end. There's gonna be more of like a musical kind of thing because that's what I know Saxon for. But as we just talked today, I learned so much more stuff about him. So I'm just gonna keep it flowing. But first off, I wanted to ask, like some of the earliest music you remember listening to, like when you were young.
I remember some of the first music I really enjoyed was the Venga Boys. I remember being in Colombia and they were bumping the shit out of the Venga Boys, and this is before the Six Flags commercials.
Yeah.
Because when the Six Flags commercial
the
came
dude
out,
dancing.
yeah,
The fucking
I remember
suit
hearing
dude.
that and being like, "That's the shit that I have the CD."
Mhm.
That's it.
But I think they just used the instrumental on the Six Flags commercials, because in the Six Flags it's all ding 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 ding
Yeah,
ding
and
ding.
the real song
But
says
the real
"I
song's the
like to
Venga
party."
Boys is
Oh, yeah.
coming,
Oh, yeah.
everybody's jumping. You got
Mm-hmm.
to San Francisco. Fools in Colombia were going crazy for that shit. So I remember liking that a lot. And then I'm Blue, Dabba Dee Dabba. Eiffel
yeah,
65,
yeah.
I had that one. Those didn't really sculpt my interest in music
Yeah,
a lot.
uh-huh.
Those
Yeah,
are
yeah.
just
Yo,
I'm
the
talking
latest-
about-
The latest album you put out, that sounds like I see the inspiration.
No, there's that was just the first time I heard shit and was like, this is cool.
Uh-huh.
But the first time I really got into music was I watched a lot of Dragon Ball Z as a kid. I was really obsessed with Dragon Ball Z.
Mhm.
And when you buy the VHSs, I don't know if that's how it was now, but the Toonami era of Dragon Ball Z. Well, first off, the Toonami ones had like drum and bass and crazy
Yep.
commercials, dude. I wish we had the guy to be like, yo, run the commercials.
Yeah.
But that shit was crazy. And then, but on the VHSs, it had like Sum 41, Deftones, and like just that kind of music
Yeah,
going on.
they totally ignored what the original Japanese soundtrack
yeah,
was.
they're like,
And
we
just
gotta
wanted-
just throw some
gotta change this
American
up.
bullshit
like,
on here.
like Raleigh and shit.
Yeah, dude. So I remember I loved watching those fight scenes, and I loved watching the build up and the music behind that, and it was just heavy as fuck, and I was like, this is super cool. So I really got into that, and then the homie's brother, I feel like it was like overnight, everyone just was talking about Linkin Park. It was like everybody was like, yo, you heard Linkin Park? You know about this? You know about this? My cousin, who's got like the cool ass dad, rest in peace to my uncle, but
Yeah.
his dad was hip, so he'd be like, yeah, I'm listening to Linkin Park. And I'm like, damn, what is Linkin Park? Like, I didn't have, this is pre-internet, or this is like kind of like internet was a thing, but I lived in the middle of nowhere. And there's a store in Watsonville called Music Madness that I had to go to buy CDs and get hip to stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I remember getting Hybrid Theory, Linkin Park Hybrid Theory, and being like, damn, this shit is hard. The pace is too fast. He just won't last. That whole thing. It's like rap rock shit. I was like, damn,
around
this
what
is-
age was this?
This is probably like when did Hybrid Theory come out? Like 2000. I don't know. Early 2000s.
Earlier. I think it's earlier.
You think it's 90s? No, it's like 2001 to 2004. I can't.
Because I remember tracks from that album appearing in anime music videos.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah,
AMVs.
yeah.
And the
With
music
Cell
video
versus
for YouTube
Cell,
AMVs.
Cell versus Go.
So I heard that and was like, "Yo, this shit is hard." And then I got my first boombox, and in the mornings I'd have it on like a certain radio station, and like Drowning Pool would come on, like "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor," that whole shit. And I'd be in my room like just geeking out, hella tough. So I was really on some like rocker shit, I guess. Like early on, I liked that, and then and then I started getting into like punk and hardcore, and there's actually a short phase between the punk phase where I was really into like James Brown and like funk music,
Yeah,
like
when was
really,
this?
really entry level funk music.
When was this?
This is like 8, 9.
Oh wow.
8,
Who
9.
Who put you
10.
on?
Oh yeah.
Like James Brown, I guess.
Like shitty college comedy stuff would have
okay.
like random funk songs, and then
Yeah,
I would like go on like
40
Rhapsody.
Year Old
I think it
Virgin?
was like Rhapsody. No, I was already a little older when 40-Year-Old Virgin, or maybe around that time.
Yeah.
But all those years were so transformative to my music taste that every year was like a different phase completely. You know, like it wasn't like I was really jumping around. So I remember Rhapsody, I think, was the first streaming service I got. You remember Rhapsody?
Yeah, I remember. Was this? No, it's not Alien because that's Napster.
No,
But
that's
I remember,
Napster, but it was around that
Rhapsody.
era.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit before LimeWire, before I was hip to LimeWire. So I just had Rhapsody. Yeah, I was listening to like funk music. And then I went to the homie's crib when I got into like skating. So I always liked the idea of punk, but I wasn't like into like Linkin Park was like punk to me. And then I would get into skating and play Tony Hawk. Okay, so Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 soundtrack and Dragon Ball Z VHSs were probably like my exposure to music.
Yeah.
And even now, dude, those soundtracks on the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater soundtracks were so well-rounded.
Here I am.
Yeah. So just straight up, like every genre, bro, they had everything.
Yeah,
and,
I listened to stuff I didn't even know I'd listen to.
Yeah.
It was like Primus was playing. I was like, I like this. Ding, ding.
Yeah. So then I was into so skating
that
is
one, by
kind
the
of
way.
like, skating is the responsible for the music taste, and then the homie had a cool brother, and then I got really into punk and hardcore probably around like 11, 12.
Yeah.
And like started going to shows and stuff, and then I didn't really get into like hip hop until I was like 15, 16, because I had only known like mainstream hip hop.
Yeah.
And it didn't interest me as much. But then when I found out about underground hip hop, I saw a lot of the similarities between punk and hardcore and underground hip hop, and I was like, oh, this is sick. This is like. So yeah, that
like
kind of.
I fuck with this. So
It was a long answer. So
No, I
you're
like
good,
that answer a lot. You know what I think about though? It's crazy how like, you know, Tony Hawk and also Toonami and Adult Swim later on were like tastemakers for a whole generation.
Straight up.
Like,
I don't know if they knew that.
It's kind of like
but
some
it was like,
Bobby Bobito, like, you know,
Stretch and Bobbito.
Stretch and Bobbito shit. You know, it's like that was like our kind of generation. I'm like, oh fuck, these beats are sick. What the fuck is this?
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super strange that it
That
because
everybody,
everyone has that story.
Everyone knows,
It's not
yeah,
even
everybody
like just
knows.
me. It's not a unique
Yeah.
story.
I remember,
Everyone's like,
yeah.
oh yeah, that's how I got into music too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially pre-internet. That was like you just played a video game in it.
Oh yeah, because every Saturday everybody's watching Toonami.
Yeah.
Like, that shit is going hard. So you kind of, I think it was interesting how you touched on the fact that you were like going through different phases in your growing up for music. Like,
Yeah.
what would you like if someone asked like what would you say your style is right now? Like, what do you think you're listening to? How would you describe your music taste as of right now?
That's actually a really difficult question. There's a lot of stuff I like to listen to, but right now, I'll be digging a lot for music and for samples and everything. So I listen to a pretty wide variety of stuff, but primarily I listen to like a lot of hardcore music and soul and jazz and hip hop, obviously.
Yeah.
But in order to make hip hop, you got to listen to a lot of hip hop. But that's probably where I'm at right now with it.
Yeah. I fuck with that. I think.
Do you ever feel burnt out, like for digging and stuff?
Hell yeah, dude.
Or just, I mean, in
Ear
general.
fatigue is
Yeah.
inevitable. So I mean, there's times I was just talking to my homie Asir about that the other day. Like I'll hear like when I came back from Japan, I was like, I gotta start making beats again, and I was just listening to hella stuff, and I was like, okay, this song is good, but is it good to the sample? Like I was like, I don't know, like what I'm even. Like you get ear fatigue to the point where you're like, yeah, this is a good song, but I don't know if this is like a good song for me to like try to manipulate or.
I know that
chop up.
exact feel. It's like you get ear fatigue and you're like, I mean, this fits. You know, I could chop it
Yeah.
up, but it's like, or I could loop it.
Yeah, but it's
But I
not
can't
like
tell this is good, like-
inspiring or getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I don't even know if. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you get stuck between hearing like beats that everyone had. Like a beat sounds good, I guess. There's not like, I mean, there's bad beats out there. Don't get me wrong. There's a shit ton of bad beats out there. But to go from like good to being like, this is a fire beat, that is such a giant jump. And it's so hard to figure out like what's making one fire versus what's making one that's just kind of like run of the mill, you know?
Yeah.
So it's tricky.
I think I'm kind of, because both of you guys obviously listen for samples and stuff like. But how do both of you guys kind of deal with the ear fatigue like you're talking about? Like, do you just take breaks or like do you have a process for that?
I have depression and I just
Yeah.
stopped digging for like a
Yeah,
couple
I'll
years.
just-
Like
I'll just stop. I'll stop digging. I have a horrible time focusing, so it's like if the focus is there, I'll definitely utilize it to the best of my ability, and then if it's not, then I'm just kind of screwed. But also just making a lot of shit.
No, I respect you for that, by the way, because you constantly just push. You're just grinding it out. You know?
Yeah,
Kind of like how
sure.
I am with Melee, where I could play Melee without even thinking about it,
yeah,
and I could I could juggle and shit and dance.
Yeah.
Nothing's changing.
Get
I'm
on
not
a
doing this
bike.
shit.
yeah.
But it's the same for you. I feel like you just had that shit down. Just like,
Yeah, I'll be like making stuff. I mean, but I didn't put anything out. I put this tape out just like at the beginning of this month or whatever, but I didn't put anything out for 2 years, but that didn't mean I wasn't making beats for 2 years. I was making so many beats every day for ever, and it just, I don't know.
Damn.
There's some that just aren't good, or there's some that are good, but they get lost in the archive, or it's like file management, you know, it's really bad
I've
with
been
it.
I've been trying to give this guy advice.
Yeah,
I keep
people
telling
make
you-
fun of
I'm
my
like,
file
dude,
management.
No, that I'm like telling you to back up your shit. You're like, oh man,
Yeah.
my computer is kind of slow. It's being weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, this shit's gonna crash and you're just gonna lose everything.
And then I just have like, so it's like you have SD cards that are on the MPC, then you have stuff that goes from the MPC, then you have stuff that's saved on Ableton, but then it doesn't leave the Ableton project folder, and then there's stuff that goes from there to an actual folder by date and by year, and then there's stuff that actually gets emailed to people that's like,
Yeah.
so it has to go through all these stages before it actually gets somewhere, and a lot of the time it might just sit on the MPC, and then I'll forget about it because I'll be like, the next day I'm like, I don't want to sit around and do file management, I want to just make a beat. So then you
Yeah,
just make another one, and then they get kind of lost.
Damn, getting lost.
I think it's a workflow. It's just a
Yeah.
workflow thing.
Yeah,
But it's like, just like work in general and how you handle that shit.
yeah, I'm trying to get better at it. I think more recently I've gotten a lot better at it because I have a much bigger desire to work with other artists, and I know that I need to be on top of my shit, especially if they want stems and everything else. It can't just
Yeah.
be like one file. Excuse me. Yeah. So
Yeah.
How does it feel to have your album out after 2 years?
Dude, it feels
by
weird.
the way, if you can bring your mic up.
oh, bring
Be like raising your shit, just like you can actually like just
yeah, I
Turn it
can,
like this,
let me, yeah. It feels great having my album out.
it's
At least
important.
you have a stand.
I'm sorry, Jill.
No, it's
There
okay.
was so many
Just
issues
letting
having
you
this
guys-
shit,
Letting you guys talk.
but
Yeah, it feels good. Feels really good. There's a thing that I heard somebody talk about before that's like post-release depression, which is like you put something out and it's like these were like your babies, and now they're out in the world to be criticized and consumed by other people, and they're not really your tracks anymore. They're everybody's tracks.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And I know that's like some weird gatekeeper type of mentality, but
No,
I
think that's
really
pretty
profound.
I get
I
it.
really liked the shit that I had, and it felt cool being like, this is my
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
you know? But now it's for everyone, and everyone can think it's sick or think it's whack, and you kind of just have to deal with it. And that kind of, it's a strange thing to come to terms with, especially because I was so in the groove of releasing stuff for so long, and then I took 2 years off. The longer I went, the longer I was in my head about like, oh, I don't want to release music, or when I release it, I want it to be like this or like that. And then eventually it's like, dude, you just have to release it and then go on to the next thing, and not take a 2-year mental blockade like that again, you know?
How do you feel about like that in general? Like some people put shit out like it's water, you know, like they push it every fucking, not on a yearly, it's like fucking
Almost
every monthly
week or
month. And there's people who release stuff like after like a decade or so.
I think it doesn't really have anything to do with my perspective or the listener's perspective, but more so like where the person's head is at that's releasing it. So yeah, some people might not, they just don't think about it, or I don't want to say care. That's kind of too
harsh,
dismissive. Yeah, it's just like they care, but they're just in a different headspace. And I was in a headspace where I was really over analytical, and I wasn't really in the mood to release stuff, and I didn't really want to be like, I don't know. I just wasn't ready to release stuff. And some people just don't, they don't give a shit. And now I'm in a place where, because of a lot of the things that I've experienced recently or gone through recently, I just don't want to.
Just ringing. Like, I had to stop her. She was like stirring her fucking coffee.
She's doing the thing that.
I'm like,
what's that movie?
It's okay, Joe. We're just listening to Saxon's life story.
I know. Sorry.
No, I was just like,
yeah. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, recent experiences allowed me to not really give a shit about public perception, or just like be more hands-on about what I want to pursue, and feel more comfortable releasing stuff and not really giving a shit if people like it or not.
Yeah. Fuck it,
awesome.
like, you know, fuck a number. Fuck
I don't care if people
stats and shit.
And this is the first tape I put out where I'm like, I don't really care about the response that it gets at all. Like if people like it, that's sick. And that, like I said, like I'm really grateful for anybody that supports me or listens to my music. But this is the first time I put out a tape where I'm like, damn, I'm like 100% satisfied with all the beats I put out and the time that I spent putting them out. And some of them were like a year old or older than a year, and they stood the test of time in my eyes. They were ones that I enjoyed. So it was like cool. It felt good to put them out.
How does it feel rebrand, like changing the rebrand for the release too?
I mean, it's rough because it's like it's a whole new alias. All your social metrics are down. Everything is different. You kind of have to build yourself back up.
You want to go into like the reason for switching up Saxon? And
yeah, so I used to go by Saxon, which is my government name, and there's already a famous rock band named Saxon. And growing up, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna like fuck it. I'm gonna somehow just be not associated with this famous rock band named Saxon. It'd be so cool if I used my real name. The older I got, the more I valued privacy, the more I was like, I don't want my real name attached to everything. I don't want strangers to know my real name. Yeah. Even though right now I just said my real name. And then and then also algorithms. So like Spotify would just, for some reason, it would be like you would listen to me even though I'd be a separate profile from the rock band, but then like you'd listen to one of my beats and then the next song would be like an AC/DC song or some shit. And I'd be like, okay, fuck, I can't. There's no real way to.
I can't break.
And then there's certain stuff as I got older and got more refined in my style of production. I wasn't proud of a lot of the stuff in my catalog, or I wasn't like, oh, this is sick, you know? And I could have just deleted it, but then I'm still associated with the rock band and everything else. So I figured, why not just start over now during this weird 2-year break. And
that was during quarantine too.
Yeah,
right.
Kind of.
Wasn't? No. I don't know. 2 years.
Quarantine's not even like it's such a funny term because people went outside at different times, you know? I think quarantine, the only real quarantine is like the 2 weeks of March 2020, you know, and everything after that is like whose idea of quarantine. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. I think I kind of want to go back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier, you know, with like some of the influential stuff you were listening to when you were younger. But I'm kind of curious, like, what were some of the artists that had the biggest influence on your musical style now that you say, like, as a creator, like making music?
It's a good question.
Like people that had a big influence on me, a lot of Bay Area artists, but I don't make music that sounds like a lot of traditional Bay Area hip hop stuff. But I mean, I really liked Spice One and E40 and all these fools. But I guess like when I started getting into East Coast hip hop, so I started out rapping before making beats. So I was rapping for a lot of years, probably like 4 or 5 years, and all my homies made beats. And I was like, I just felt like, oh, it's too late to get into making beats because all the homies are so good at making beats that it's like my ego is going to get in the way and how good everyone else is. It's like the bar is really high.
Yeah.
But I still wanted to get into it, you know, and then I was like, I want to rap on my own shit, like, you know, and then I just started getting really into producing. But yeah, just like all the goats, the fools running the game right now, like a lot of producers. I mean, obviously I was really into like early RZA and DJ Premier.
Yeah.
And then and
have a
Lord
tattoo.
Finesse. Lord Finesse is a well, I have it. Oh yeah. We don't have to talk about that. and then you know, Madlib, Dilla, Alchemist, Knowledge, and even like Rock Marciano. Even though he's stated before that he's not going for like the most complex sound layered style, but just like my love for digging for loops and finding an interesting approach to be chopping stuff up.
Yeah.
So that's probably my biggest influences as far as production.
Do you still like? We talked this before, but like, do you still like at times like practice rapping or?
Yeah.
I mean, like whenever you listen to something, you break it down.
Yeah.
Like you have bars like memorized.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking dictionary.
Yeah.
But like I know like you're every day you're producing, but.
Yeah. I was rapping yesterday. I rap a lot. I like rapping.
Yeah.
I got homies that rap, and sometimes I won't write a verse, but I'll come up with like a couple bars and then tell them to the homie and be like, oh, this would be funny, or this would be sick,
yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes there's just like it's right there out in the open, and it's just too funny to not say, so you just say that bar to the homie. But yeah, I've kept that on a pretty private scale. There actually is some rap music I'm coming out with this year that I haven't.
I had an idea.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That I haven't really. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna put out a project, but I have like features on other people's stuff. And in the past couple of years, I've done features for some people's tapes. Mostly the homie Asir, though.
Yeah.
Shout out Asir from Queens, New York. That's a close friend of mine, and he's one that's just constantly nagging me to rap more.
I love that though.
So yeah.
I seen that video of you.
Video.
You both performing on stage.
Which one?
I don't know. You showed it.
Is that the rec center? I don't know.
Is there a lot of them? I
There's a
guess?
gang of times.
Okay,
There's a couple different
Yeah.
times. Yeah. And then we have like a couple, I don't know. A lot of it's unreleased or just super not put on the forefront. But yeah, I'd like to get back into the swing of things. I just like the idea of writing. And I like breaking down. There's some rappers I listen to that I don't like their music, but I'll Google their lyrics and just read their lyrics like it's poetry or some shit, you know, just because I'm like, oh, this beat sucks or this is whatever sucks, but like I want to know everything you're saying and like what kind of dots you're trying to connect, you know?
You know, I actually noticed about that because a lot of people know like, iconic fucking rap lines and like bars and shit and recited.
Yeah.
You actually know bad ones too. Like when we're talking about like bad examples, like you'll know them. Like,
yeah.
Like, yo, I don't want to sound like this, and you recite the whole thing. Like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. I know. Yeah, a lot of people might not know that about me. That I'm like really overly obsessive about lyricism to the point where it could be crippling. And that was like one reason that in all those years I didn't put out. There's if you dig through the internet, there's a gang of music videos and rap stuff I put out, but I don't. it was like crippling. It was like I wanted stuff to be like perfect, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
And then because I saw lyricism, it was so like revered to me that I just wanted to be like the people that were fucking crushing shit. So
Yeah.
I think that perfectionism is definitely like something that anyone who makes like anything can deal with, like as content people, as musicians, like as any like artists, like that.
Yeah.
That fear of just like, oh, like this shit's never gonna be good enough.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's
really
it's
hard.
tough. It's like you don't really get better. I mean, you do get better because
Yeah.
you're grinding it out, but it's like
But to get better, you have to
you like
put
putting yourself out there
Yeah.
in these more uncomfortable decision like moments.
And I feel like for rapping, it's way more uncomfortable than putting out beats because it's way more vulnerable, and you're
personal.
talking about you're talking about, unless you're on the traditional like I get money, fuck bitches,
that's
this is
just-
big business, Tolton Twin Biscuits, da da da. Like
yeah,
you could just say some shit like that, and it's like all right. But when you're like really vulnerable as hell, just like saying crazy shit about your family, crazy shit about
childhood.
your exes, crazy shit about like your homie fucking you over, or the first time you got robbed or whatever. Stuff that's not flexing, like you're not flexing, you're just fucking going in.
Yeah.
That in itself is flexing, because it's like to have that kind of emotional vulnerability. But
sure.
yeah.
And turn it into something like
Because then that ends up being a lot of the shit people resonate with, and they're like, damn, this fool's sick, because he's just saying everything everyone wants to say but is too scared to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely my biggest, like, I guess, not problem, but like that's why I can't listen to a lot of like that trap music and stuff like that, where it's like a lot of the lyrics aren't as
relatable.
Just, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's just about like
You know
Yeah.
what? I just want to rock.
I just want to. Yeah, I like that song.
I
That
like it
song's
too.
crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's just like feel good.
Yeah,
just
but,
like catchy.
Like,
yeah,
there's a time and place for it.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
yeah, for sure.
I remember
But-
being an ultra hater though. Like as a kid, I was like, "Oh fuck all that shit." And you know those annoying
Yeah.
people on fucking YouTube.
Dude, I was a fucking.
I didn't do it, but I just remember being like that. I was like,
Yeah.
just dude, this is real music. I'm only 12, by the way.
I'm only 12.
I'm only 12.
What the fuck is Lil Pump? Like all those comments. I'm 13. All my homies listen to Lil Pump, but I'm different. Yeah. Just like on like a
social initiative.
yeah. Or even when you're like going like digging on YouTube, you find some cutty ass soul track, or even like a Smokey Robinson track, and then it's just like the comments are
Love
some
kids,
kid
dude.
being like, "Yeah, I love Smokey. I bump this shit every day. My friends don't know what's up. I don't know who the fuck Drake, and you're like, damn.
damn. Yeah, they could both eat.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I used to be like that too. I used to be a really big hater, and it took a lot of looking in the mirror to realize.
To this day, I kind of feel like I am. Like at times, I'm like,
Still
I'm
a
like
hater.
Jekyll Hyde. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm like, Marvel vs. Capcom. It's like it's split
Yeah.
half face.
Yeah,
like Venom, and then it's like Zangief.
yeah.
Like, Joe, what do you mean what? If you play Marvel vs. Capcom, you're talking. You know what I'm talking
Why
about.
did you pick those specific
Yeah,
people?
it's just
I don't know.
it's just the two.
That's what I
halves.
imagine. Like, I see like I see the static and it's blue and shit, and other ones like red.
Yeah.
But
Go on.
okay, well, anyways, I feel like that. Like I'm usually positive. Like, oh shit, you like that? You should enjoy what you listen to.
Yeah.
that's great. And then other half of me is like, oh, what the fuck? You like that shit, dude? Oh, you can't find better shit.
I go back and forth too.
I think what made me be less of a hater was hating on haters.
Oh,
Like
okay.
just seeing fools hate on shit that I like. I'm like, damn, that's what I
Yeah.
sound like?
Yeah.
What the
Yeah,
fuck? I gotta
whack.
stop
Yeah.
hating on
Yeah,
shit. Like,
that's
what the
facts.
hell? That's what I sound like?
Mhm.
I definitely don't do it externally. Like I'm not like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you
Like,
just
but,
internalize
but
it.
you
yeah,
can
but
still
sometimes
have
I'll be
opinions.
like, I'll be like, ugh,
Like,
yeah.
damn,
But
this
I won't
shit
say
sucks.
say anything. I'm
It's
just
okay.
like, oh, this shit's
Sometimes when I
whack.
put music on in the car, he'll tell me.
No,
that he
no,
doesn't
no.
like it.
I'm like, oh,
And then I'm just like-
it's good, Joe.
Damn.
Then it's a quiet ride.
Yeah.
No, I like a lot of this stuff. Joe put me on No Vacation.
Oh.
What else?
Alina Baraz.
What else?
Callie Uchis.
Hey,
Uchis.
Callie, yeah,
Callie
Callie
Uchis is tight. Tight.
Yeah.
Joe put me on Toki Monster. I didn't know Toki Monster until Joe showed me.
That's not true.
It's true. I didn't know.
That's not true.
It's true. Oh, I didn't listen.
How do you? Okay.
Oh, anyways,
Keep going.
all that stuff. I like that stuff.
Yeah.
We have a playlist that blends
Like you do
together.
have a soft spot. Like you listen to all like this like hard hip hop.
Yeah. I mean,
have like
it's fair.
Yeah. It's like nice
Sometimes
to
I
get
want to be
contrast.
soft.
Yeah. Sometimes you want to be on
Sometimes you
some
be a
shit.
I'm so soft shit.
It's
Joe
nice
put
to
me
get
on
a little
SZA. I didn't
contrast.
even know what SZA sounded like. I was like, oh shit, this is good.
Yeah.
She's nice. She put it on Ice Spice.
Yeah. Yo, shout out Ice Spice.
Shout out Ice
I listened to SZA today at the tea store, tea shop. Tea. What do you? I don't know what you call that. What was it? Tea?
Boba?
Boba. Play?
Oh, yeah.
I got a matcha latte. They were playing SZA in there. I was like, okay.
What a
cool.
vibe.
Yes. A vibe.
Wait, you don't listen to SZA normally?
I don't listen to SZA normally. I used to listen to Uchis a lot. I had the opportunity to meet her a couple years ago, and I was like, dude.
Crushing her.
That's
I was
cool.
like, you're dope. She's like, yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm fucking tight as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
It's so funny.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. She used to put out rap music.
Did she?
Uchis.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Her first mixtape before, I don't know. Sean Price once said that you're not supposed to give other artists airtime, so I shouldn't be saying that.
We can cut it right now. Hey, fam, man, if you're editing
Shout out
this,
Uchis, that's it.
all right, just cut the shit. Have you seen there's a Joe Rogan podcast with Danny Brown,
Oh, God.
and
No.
he's talking about, fuck is his name? Fuck, I don't know the fucking new guys' names. Who made a whole lot of red?
Playboy Cardi.
Yeah, there it is.
You don't know Playboy Cardi?
I do. I just don't remember the fucking
the
names. I don't remember the names.
I fuck with
Names
Playboy
escape.
Cardi.
Yeah. But anyways, I guess Joe Rogan brought up Playboy Cardi.
Uh-huh.
And then he started talking about like, oh, dude, that guy is crazy. So it's like he's putting on like, look at these festivals for him.
Yeah.
Dan Brown's like, I don't want to talk about this dude. Dude, this is my first time ever on this podcast.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to fucking talk about Playboy Cardi.
That's true, though, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, dude.
That's
No
so
more talking
funny.
about these other artists.
He was getting like
Fucking other artists out of here.
really hurt. He's like, dude.
That's real though,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like, yo, I'm not saying that this isn't a poppin' podcast, but if I'm on Joe Rogan's podcast, we're not fucking talking about anything other than me,
Yeah.
bias,
Yeah.
any contributions I've ever had,
Uh-huh.
my life story,
You want to get it all
my
out there.
fucking link tree, like
Yeah.
whatever the hell. I'm like, we're not talking about anything but me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I get it.
I tell me more about Biased.
Biased is a vehicle for all of my creative expressions. And it's just like a way to make clothes and make tapes and make music and help out other homies and other artists that are underexposed. For not saying Biased is like the biggest thing ever, but
Yeah.
it's basically like a platform that if people follow Biased and because they're into one artist, and then I put out their music through Biased, then that's a whole other channel of people that might have not known about that artist.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's just a way to get people hip. And it's a way for me to make clothes I like or just do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to make skateboards and cassette racks and cassettes, obviously. And
Yeah.
just anything that I think is sick. And it doesn't have to be bound by genre. It can be fucking hardcore bands or punk bands or metal bands or hip hop acts or R&B singers or fucking weird ambient noise shit. Just whatever I think is sick.
IDM.
Because
yeah.
it's like
It
the play on words is
yeah.
that like I'm biased to what I think is sick. All
I like
record
that.
labels think they're the best, but it's because they're biased. But I'm the best because I'm biased.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
yeah,
Um,
that's the easiest way to summarize that question. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of want to get into like the process of making your first song, if you remember that, like like your first beat,
shit.
your first
Dude.
like do
That
you
shit was a
remember?
Bay Area slap.
Mhm.
Like that shit sounded like a
Have we heard it? Or-
no. I don't think I gotta go on like my oldest laptop and dig through the oldest thing, and
Yeah.
I think it's called like First Beat or something. But
Oh wow, yeah, what was that?
it was
like?
on.
You gotta archive this.
It was on Ableton trial version. For the first like year I made beats, I used the Ableton trial version. And on the Ableton trial version, you're obviously limited on features, but you're not allowed to save or export. And so I had an SP303 and I would just make stuff on Ableton and then record it into the 303. So that was like my sneaky way of being like, fuck the trial version.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
keep
yeah.
using the trial version forever because I can just save it externally outside of the software. But yeah, it was a lot of just clicking around, just clicking on random MIDI notes and shit, and just like
You
trying
ever
to figure it out.
recently? You're like,
No,
oh,
I haven't
this
heard
is-
it in a long time, but I remember it being a
Sometimes, like,
slapper. I remember being like, "Damn, this shit's better than the shit I make now." Like,
Oh wow.
just because it sounded so funny. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was like really trash G-funk,
Mm-hmm.
like the worst version of some like Dr. Dre type of shit, I guess. And then all my homies, like I said, were crazy at making beats at the time, so showing them it, like I was like a child to them. Like I was like, "Yo, are you proud of me? Like look what I did," you know? And they're like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
Like they're like, "Cool."
Yeah.
They were more geeked on the idea of me starting to make beats, you know. Like, they were always really supportive and cool to me.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But the range, the skill range was very evident. The contrast between where I was at and where they were at.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that you kind of mentioned that too, because I'm kind of curious now, like, how do you view some of the older stuff you make versus the stuff you make now? Because I know a lot of people, the OG stuff they make, they look back and they're like, oh my God.
Yeah, the old shit I made sucked, but it's just because I was throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. I was like, I don't know what the hell I was doing. And even now, I hardly know what the hell I'm doing. But even when something was sick, like the idea of it was sick, or you get an idea of like, oh, I get what you were trying to do. You say that to your past self. But even then, you don't know how to mix or master or anything, so it doesn't slap, or it's not like knocking the same way the stuff you make now is, you know? Because you didn't know how to mix a kick, or you didn't know how to mix the low end, or you didn't know how to like make it hit. I remember hitting up the homies and being like, how do you make it? Like, why does my shit sound like this? Like, you know, I'd be like sending it to them. Like, why does it sound so muddy? Or like, are you EQing? I'm all, I don't know what the fuck EQing is. Like,
that's still me.
I just want it to not sound like, but I've heard your beats. Your beats are, it's mine were like, you can hardly, they're indecipherable. There's the first alias I had when I made beats was Grasp. I made beats under the name Grasp.
Like grabbing.
Like grabbing. Like, can you grasp it?
Oh, okay. That's hard.
Ass.
Okay.
Horrible, bro.
Everything from that.
I have that tape. That's on YouTube somewhere if anyone can find it. But it's bad. And there's some stuff on there that I'd listen to and be like, damn, I get what I was trying to do.
It'd be a cool project. Coming back to all those old, like all the old projects you did, and like redoing it, like with your new modern like techniques. Like, all right,
dude, it'd be difficult because I don't have the stems, or I don't have anything else. You know, they're just WAV files. But if that, it might be MP3 files. Dude, but
I think that's a problem you have. It's like
file management.
No. What's it down? You're like, you listen to one of your old beats. Like, oh man, I forgot the sample. It's like, oh fuck, I don't even know what sample I use on this shit. Do you know this, Andrew? I'm like, I don't fucking know.
That's
like,
how it is.
It's like chopped up and shit. Like
that's how it is on the Unifying Factors tape. The shit I just dropped. There's a gang of shit on there where I'm like, this shit's cool, but what's the sample?
Oh,
damn, that's crazy. That's
and then I seen an ad or like some kind of propaganda on Twitter that was like, AI is now going to know every sample you've ever used. This is ending sample-based production for the rest of forever, and blah, 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 with Google's AI assistant. And I downloaded that shit and was like, cool, like it'll tell me the shit I've been looking for. And then I like ran my music through it, and it's like, we don't know what this is. And I was like, okay. Like I was like, cool. That's a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
The good thing is I get to stick around longer. The bad thing is I'm like, what the fuck are these songs?
Yeah.
Do you ever have a fear of that at all? Like getting hit with some big ass fucking...
Hell nah, bro. I'm just gonna
just vanish.
Fuck it, yeah, dude. I'll just go do something else. Like I had fun. I'll just go live on a farm somewhere and put out physicals. You can still put out tapes. You can still bootleg
carrots
shit.
And shit. You're like, all right, here's fucking my tape.
Bro, tape. That's like from the 80s. Like, what the fuck am I doing with a tape? I'll put out USB drives. I don't know. I guess newer computers don't even have USBs. I'll put out fucking whatever. They don't have... What is like the current physical media?
Fuck.
I don't even know. It's like...
That's a crazy
I guess it's
question.
USBs.
No, not USBs.
Like a flash drive?
It's not a flash drive. There's no physical.
Is,
like the
physical media is like a fish.
If it is, it's a micro SD card. If it is something.
Oh my god.
That's what it is.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's not a fucking...
Kids today
physical.
don't even know what a VHS is.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Or like a floppy disk.
I mean,
dude, so
people our age don't even know that shit.
Yeah.
I
had floppy
barely
disks.
know.
Really do
I
that
barely
shit.
know what a
Well,
floppy
we're
disk
5 years apart.
Yeah,
So I had floppy disks growing up. We had floppy disks to put in our computer to
I
play
just kind of
games
just
with.
fucked with it.
Dude, yeah,
I just tore it up and fucked
Are
with
you
that
not
the
supposed
film.
to do that?
You're not supposed to
The little metal slide on
the
them.
slide because it's kind of like a It kind of like it is like film, you know. You shouldn't be touching that stuff.
Why
That's where the
did you do
data
that?
is, huh?
And why did you do
I
that?
don't know. It'd be like, mom and dad's
Just looks up
wedding photos. I'm like fucking with them.
You wouldn't put photos on it, would you?
You
Or is
could.
it
Well, it's
You
probably
could.
like one
It couldn't
photo.
really. It didn't store much.
Yeah, it wasn't much. Probably like
Yeah.
your documents or some shit.
Yeah. Does anyone you know ever get like? Has anyone you ever know ever get like caught out, like called out by like they use some sample or some shit and they get in trouble for that shit?
Copyright strike? No,
Yeah.
I think that happens during the uploading process
yeah.
when you're uploading it to music distributors.
Really?
Yeah, it'll be like, oh, you can't use this.
I know that's how it is for YouTube. I don't know about the
Yeah.
others.
But I've evaded all those hoes for a
Yeah.
minute,
That's
bro.
good, yeah.
They're
Okay,
after me. They're coming after me. Fuck them.
Okay, I'm not gonna say the name of the artist,
Okay.
but what's it called? Well, it's not. They're not a sample, but there's a there's a track that Saxon made. Their relatives, they comment on the video, and they're.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't even understand the name, but they're just like, why is my grandma?
No, yeah.
being
I don't
sampled?
think I'll get sued for that.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if I don't think because like
I think it's
there's
just
all
funny.
kinds of there's just like a lot of artists who name songs
Yeah,
after
yeah.
other people, even if it's like the most vague reference.
Yeah.
They'll just be like, "Fuck, let's name the song that."
Yeah.
You know. Rock Marciano has a song called Fabio. It's like one of my favorite hip hop songs. It's so sick. But yeah, I can say it. We have a song called Dorothy Izatts.
Yeah.
that I
It's not
put out.
sampling. It's just,
Yeah, I
you know,
didn't
it's just,
sample.
It's just
I
funny
didn't-
that people in the comments.
I just have a bar in it where I said, no quarter life crisis type raps, just one mind traveling through time. I seen the light like Dorothy Izatts. And so I named the song Dorothy Izatts just because fuck it. It's like a 1 minute song. It's like some fuck around song. And their family was like, what the fuck is this? You know, like all the comments on the video are like, what? Like, who made this song about my grandma or my wife or something? I did.
Who was she originally?
How did they find it?
She's a lady.
How did you find this
There's
woman?
a documentary called Capturing the Light with Dorothy Izatts, and it's about a lady who kept thousands and thousands of feet of film that she shot on a 16 millimeter camera of crazy UFOs and stuff in the sky.
Oh shit.
And
Oh.
people were going to think she was crazy if she showed them in like the 80s, I think. People
Yeah.
were like, yo, you're going to be considered crazy for having this. I think she was like showing it to like people with NASA or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were like, collect thousands and like as much of evidence as you can until it's like undeniable. But even now, people see it and they're like, "This is just like light trails on film." Like this. To me, I thought it was sick. You know, like the alien conspiracist in me. I mean, let's keep it a stack. Aliens are real. They gotta be. I remember asking. I remember asking my mom about that. Like, do you think aliens are real? She's like, "No." I'm like.
So
God.
offended.
I was like taken back. I'm like, Mom,
No.
you think the world, you think your world is so small. You know, you have a grasp on how big the fucking universe is, and you really think you're the only living thing in this whole fucking thing? Like, that's negligent.
Selfish.
Yeah, it's so. It's just like.
That's a tight word to use there.
It's just like, bruh, let's be for real.
Yeah.
I guess I sound kind of crazy when I
No,
say
no,
stuff
no,
like
no.
that,
You're
but
not,
people
though. You're not,
are
though. It's fucking-
fucking dumb to think that. Like, you got to be so dumb to think they're not real. So yeah, I mean, capturing the light. I thought that shit was real. Like, fuck it, I believe it was real.
Uh-huh.
She was like hearing voices and shit when she saw the lights.
Okay, that's different.
Yeah.
That's different.
That
though.
might be
That's
something
schizophrenia.
else.
No,
That might
I
be
really,
something else.
you know, I rock. Shout out Dorothy Izatts. That's why I named the song after her. I knew me and her would have been homies.
Yeah.
Dang.
Mhm.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Surprised their family wasn't rocking with you.
One
Some
person,
of them.
one
Yeah,
person was
yeah.
like, "Wow, how sick that you made a song about my great grandma, whatever." And I was like, and shout out all the distant family in the comments. I was like, "Oh, sick."
That's
It's like
cool.
a family reunion.
I know. I
with
have a
fucking-
family reunion on my fucking YouTube,
That's tight.
and then one dude was like, "Yo, this is dope. I was just looking for UFO videos."
Shit.
So you know, you
Hey,
get the alien conspiracist
That's
fans.
secret marketing.
That
You
is
know,
secret
part-
marketing.
Yeah,
Say,
no.
gotta get the niche community.
yeah,
in
that's
there.
crazy.
That's what I got to do.
Uh-huh.
This is
Just keep-
all part of the plan.
Just keep finding these obscure ass documentaries, just
Yeah,
referencing
just
random
reference
people.
them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Alien conspiracists love hip hop. I don't know what it is. There's a
I
Correlation.
never
It's a
realized,
correlating
like,
market.
oh, yeah.
The other day I was at the smoke shop and I saw like Dragon Ball Z posters, like hella rap posters, Scarface posters, and I thought to myself, whoever's making these fucking posters, because they're not official,
Yeah.
they're all bootleg, but like there's a huge colliding market between anime fans, rap fans, Scarface fans, and people who smoke, and that's why they're all at the
They're
smoke
always
shop.
there, yeah.
So I think it's fair to say alien conspiracists fuck with hip hop to a degree.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean-
the pipeline.
I mean, especially if you're from that era of like Immortal Technique and all that shit.
Oh my god!
It's
yeah.
like, it's like.
I remember hearing that song for the first time. You know what song I'm talking about? The fucking little do 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 do. So you know
Which one are you talking about? I was thinking about fucking Dance to the Devil.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
okay. Oh, yeah. You're doing the piano.
Yeah,
I fucking hate that song.
I think everyone does.
Oh, really?
But
I never had like.
but I
extra
remember
content.
hearing it as a kid, and the person, because that's how everyone gets put onto it. It's always someone like 2 years older than you, and they're like, "You want to hear some crazy shit?"
It's always in the car.
It's always in the car.
Because you're locked in now.
Yeah, and you're like locked in there. He's all, "Here, hit this." You're all, "Oh damn!" He's like, "Now listen to this song." You put it on, and you're like, "Okay, this is a crazy story this guy's saying." And then at the end, he's like, "And it was his own mom," and you're like, "Oh, I
Joe,
feel
do you ever listen
weird."
to that song, Joe? I don't want to explain it, but
No, yeah, we don't got to.
it's just
Those who
nasty
know,
song.
know, and
if you guys
don't
know
even
what I'm
wanna
talking about,
know.
that's fucking. I was talking about
Shit is
I was talking
funny
about that
as
song
hell.
with my homie Shamana. Like people just I don't know. It's like watching a shock video, and you're like, oh man, this is fucking terrible. I need to show someone this shit.
Yeah. Facts.
God damn.
Like, I can't be the only person who's seen this.
yeah.
We've covered a lot of topics so
Yeah.
far in this combo. It's gone from Playboy Cardi to aliens to Immortal Technique.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Yeah.
Are you telling me you want to end the podcast?
No, I don't. I just,
Transition to
no,
the
I,
very end.
just, I was
Like-
just surprised that we got to Immortal Technique.
That's how we
I
get
How
just
the
see,
hell
like-
did we get here? I'm like,
homie only
Sorry,
chat,
sorry,
man.
We're on
also
Immortal
it's
Technique.
getting dark, so I'm just turning on.
Yeah. Also, everyone watching the podcast, this might just be a better video audio podcast because I didn't really take care of the lighting. Everything's.
Yeah, it's just getting
I,
dark.
kinda, I thought this should look good at first, and then it started getting dim.
We were also supposed to start at 1, and then I don't know what happened.
You
We
know.
watched Cocaine. Boy.
Slayer
watch
told us that
Cocaine
it's
Bear.
been a good podcast.
Oh,
so
thank
that's
you.
Pretty
Thank
cool.
you.
Shout out
What's up,
to
Rob?
Rob's here too.
What is your take on pineapples on pizza? Yo,
I'm a
I
pineapple on
like
pizza
it.
guy. Yeah, I'm a pineapple on pizza guy. I
feel
can't.
like
I
everyone's
can't.
gonna
I
hate
can't
me
lie
now.
about
for
it.
real?
I am.
No, I'm just kidding. I fuck with it.
Okay,
too.
I was like,
Yo,
oh no,
pineapple
It's like,
pepperoni with jalapenos.
Yes, sir.
That's the
Yes, sir.
I just
trifecta,
don't understand
bro.
why
Ooh.
people hate it on
Yeah,
it so much.
people hate.
Because people are
Yeah.
fucking weirdos.
Like, let's talk about having sardines on your pizza. Or
Okay.
anchovies.
That's like, I don't know. That's like cultural or something. I don't know. That's like a 90s thing. No one does that shit anymore.
I was
Like,
about to say anchovies. That's.
like,
Yeah, I feel like
I
my
don't think I've
dad.
ever
My
you can't
dad
find that
did
shit
that.
now.
I've tried it.
Can you?
I've tried it.
What does anchovy taste like?
Yeah, it's just like it tastes like canned fish. Just tastes like those generic ass canned fish.
Like,
People
I've never
put
had a
sardines
sardine.
on pizza. Dude, sardines are salty as fuck.
Yeah,
They're
no, I
very
remember
salty.
I used to like sardines.
Like,
as
me
a
too.
kid.
You
I
used
crack
to.
open the can.
Ew, what the fuck?
Wait,
Yes.
that again? What?
Dude, I'm wearing headphones. I hear that shit. I'm like sucking it like
That's
through my
me.
ear.
That's me sucking on the sardines,
sardine
bro.
can.
And hey, it's a lot
Bro,
of
as I was
good
laughing-
protein source.
I think I was like, I've been like touching this flower thing, and I inhaled one like the cotton
Oh,
while I was
shit.
laughing. It's
I
like,
need
it
to
pulled
go
in.
away from
Damn,
you.
his days are numbered.
I feel like going down my throat.
Pineapple on pizza is the shit though. I just had pizza yesterday.
Pineapple,
actually. That shit
pepperoni,
was fire.
jalapeno on pizza. Ooh.
Well, okay. The thing is, like, most people will shit on that, pineapple on pizza, but we've had like weird ass pizzas. You've had Tom Yum pizza.
Yo, Tom Yum pizza is
Pizza's
the
good.
best pizza
Yeah,
there
shit's
is.
good.
Pizza?
Tom Yum pizza.
At
That's a
Thai
place in
Curry
Long-
Pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super smackable.
What is it like? Does it have a gimmick or is it just good pizza?
No, it's just a dude
Mhm.
putting Thai food on pizza. I don't know.
Yeah,
that is a gimmick.
So you get the
Thai curry.
you get the Tom Yum pizza, and then you get the curry on the side,
never had
and you
that.
dip the
What-
Tom Yum, the
what
chicken
kind of
Tom
toppings
Yum.
are on it?
Ooh, it's like
the shit you have in Tom
it's
Yum.
like Tom, yeah, but it's like there's the cheese. It sounds soggy in
Yeah.
in in your head.
That's what I'm
I
thinking.
know you're visualizing something really soggy. It's not. Can we pull up a picture? No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
Famine. I was about to say famine.
Our editor. We'll
Yep.
put it
Yeah,
in.
he'll put it
Okay,
in.
yeah.
I'll
Alright.
put it in.
So,
So
right
go ahead,
here.
put that up.
Right.
Right.
Wait, where Jill's sitting?
Yeah.
Because she's not here. Just put on a.
Go ahead and pull up a Thai curry
Yeah.
pizza or a tom yum pizza. So it's like chicken, cilantro, onions. I don't know what the hell's on that shit. It's bomb. You dip it in
there's
the
like
curry.
full onions.
It's-
on it.
yeah.
yeah.
Is it around here?
I can't say
can't
because
say
I'm
that.
getting
Oh, yeah,
murdered,
yeah,
but
right.
it's in
But,
Long Beach.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And you will need to be near a bathroom,
Oh.
but it's good.
Explosive.
It's worth it.
Okay.
Me and my girl had it on Valentine's Day.
I gotta try that shit.
What the fuck? Joe and I had that shit on Valentine's Day.
No way.
That's like the most romantic shit
Is
you
it-
could get.
Yeah, I don't know
And it's
what.
pretty
Something in my
inexpensive.
head. Something in my head. told me to
Okay,
get
fine.
that shit.
Okay, topic switch. Jill, what is romantic to eat on Valentine's Day? Just so I know
Tom
Hey,
yum
see closer, Joe.
for my
I like
girlfriend next year.
Strawberries. Man, that's that shit where like you fucking wipe on your nipple.
Yeah.
you
feed
put
it
in their
to each
fucking
other.
mouth and shit. Like, the fuck? That's not romantic.
Boba.
Yeah,
Boba's not
Nah,
romantic.
okay,
That's a
nah.
Jill. That's a Jill specific.
No, that's
romance.
some Asian shit. That's like
That's-
some
that's-
ABG
I
stuff.
want to
Yeah.
take you to
Boba.
boba and
Aphrodisiacs.
strawberries. Oh, dang.
Oh, okay.
Boba's an
Boba is bu-
aphrodisiac?
Is that true?
Balls.
I'm just kidding. What are some aphrodisiacs? I know
I don't know.
strawberries one of them.
Is it?
Dark chocolate.
Oysters.
I didn't know
Dark
that.
chocolate, oysters.
Guys are
Oysters.
listing all the oysters.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
2 grams of protein per shucker.
That is. You do have to make that noise. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine doing that on a date. you
That's
know?
pretty
Like,
arousing
ooh.
noise.
Oh, you know
Is that what makes
that
it
photo
an
of Shaq? He's like,
aphrodisiac? The noise.
The noise.
no, because it kind of
the-
looks like a
the fact that
vagina.
you're
It
Yeah, you gotta slurp.
Huh?
looks like a vagina,
An
Oysters?
oyster?
isn't it?
So when I was a kid, I had oysters, and I thought I didn't. Not that I'm hating on anybody who does, but to me they had kind of a jizzy texture. For someone who hasn't had any jizz in their mouth, it was a little jizzy.
Fuck, this is happening in this podcast. I'm like, hey, by the way, this podcast is fucking up.
It's a jizzy texture.
It's a jizzy texture.
So
I don't
then,
like when- yeah, I don't like
this-
when
but
they
then
do
recently the homie came through and he's like the oyster god, and he was like, "Yo, bro, you gotta have my oysters." And I was like, "I just don't like chewing them." He's like, "You're not supposed to chew them. You're supposed to just."
Oh, you're not supposed to chew it?
So I was
You're not
having them with like
supposed to,
chili and lime and everything. It was actually kind of good.
Yeah,
And they're really good for you. They have all essential, every essential amino acid you need. You know.
By the podcast looks great now. By the way,
They're supposed to.
so like
yeah.
the first hour looks like shit, but it looks good now.
Okay, so now we know what's romantic. Wait, we didn't. Figure out what was romantic.
Oysters.
That's not romantic, though.
Strawberries.
By the way,
Dark
move the mic up
chocolate.
again.
Honestly,
or just
like,
move it up.
Yeah.
Just pivot it up. Like,
something
slam it up.
romantic for me would be like a planned picnic or like.
Okay,
you
that's not
plan
food though.
something.
That's anything.
Yeah,
I can
like
eat a
romantic
fucking,
food.
I can eat a pork hock.
on a picnic.
Like not cock, but pork hock, like their foot. you know?
Pork cock.
I didn't think.
Okay, because I had like
I know,
a,
you had to really-
accent. I kind of like slipped it out.
Pork cock.
Pork cock.
But yeah, you can eat anything at a picnic. It's romantic, you know. You can eat
Yeah.
ants, like fucking chocolate ants or something. That's romantic.
Have you guys had crickets? Crickets are pretty.
I've heard
interesting.
people
Yeah.
eat
Yeah,
that.
you season them up. They got
I don't
That
crunch
sounds
to them.
nasty.
They're like sunflower seeds,
sounds
but just
nasty,
a little
but-
more.
That sounds gross as shit.
Okay, damn.
Is
Bugging
it?
out.
It is
it good?
gross. Is
Was
it?
it,
Literally.
was it good though?
Yeah, no, I
Ants
like
are
them.
gross.
Oh, wow.
But did you try anything weird in Japan? Like anything?
See, weird. That's
Exotic?
offensive. It's offensive
Oh,
to
I'm
use
sorry.
the word
Yeah,
weird.
I
Joe.
gotta stop
Weird to
talking.
Second.
Americans.
Jill's kind of the racist
Okay,
one of
okay,
the
no,
group.
no, no. Can I
Just
read
been holding off
again?
this whole time.
Yeah.
Can I ask my question
Yeah, what's
again?
your question?
Did you eat anything in Japan that Americans would
Don't
have
eat.
never eaten before in their life?
Good question.
Is that better?
Better
Some
question.
fucking vegetables. No, I'm just kidding.
That part.
I don't know. No, I didn't. I wasn't adventurous with it. Yeah, I can't really say I was too adventurous. I did eat good out there though.
Yeah.
God damn, I ate hella good. I had katsu wagyu,
I saw that shit.
and it was like
Sure,
raw.
it's
Like when I
fire.
walked by the sign, they had it on display, and I was like, "Oh, I really want to try wagyu beef out here." But it looks raw. But I'm here, so I might as well just try it, even if it is raw, or that's how they present it. But then I ordered it, and they give you like a griddle to cook it on and
Yeah.
everything, and like a curry and 2 different sauces, a garnish and everything. So
Yeah, he was eating good.
yeah, I was eating
What
good.
is a katsu?
Huh?
Well, it's just
Chicken
breaded.
cutlet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just breaded.
like
So it wasn't chicken.
chicken
It was
katsu.
just Wagyu beef.
Oh,
but
okay.
breaded
Oh,
Yeah.
got it,
with
got it.
Katsu doesn't
panko
mean chicken. It's just
breading.
yeah.
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 Texas
Smackable.
style breading.
Schmidak.
Yeah, it should look good.
Yeah, it was good.
They don't have that here.
They do,
No,
but
but he has
every
like he has
time
some fancy shit. It was like
Yeah.
like
and
it was
people always
bloody.
talk about that. They're always like, "Oh, you're not getting real Kobe beef in America. You're not getting real Wagyu beef."
Is that shit worth it? Have you had that stuff?
I haven't had
Yeah,
Kobe,
I've had one. Yeah.
but Wagyu was, dude, it was cheap out there still.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
'cause-
what
'cause
is
we,
it?
Like,
'cause
I
we
paid-
get it from there. Don't we?
I paid like $28 for the whole meal and a matcha beer and
Yeah.
everything, and that's light work. You spend that much at Chili's on a bad day.
Yeah, facts. I was about to say that's literal facts. Because my dad's like a big steak guy, so I've had all the different
Yeah.
kinds of. He used to be cooking steak every Sunday.
Apparently, Wagyu beef's really rich, though. You can't eat it like a carne asada or something. If you
Yeah.
ate a lot of
So-
it, you just shit yourself.
Yeah, it
What-
is
How do you
so good though.
you only eat it like in like tiny
People eat it in
bits.
small
Yeah.
portions. Yeah, the one.
Yeah.
The,
you
the
like
one
get
I paid for.
overpowered if you eat it too
And
much.
it's rich.
Yeah.
Well, I
You
never
feel
had it,
pretty
so I have
full
no
from
idea
it. You'll
what
feel
it
pretty
even
full.
tastes
Like, you don't
Tastes
even
like-
want to eat that much of it. You just want to eat like a good
So
chunk.
fucking
It's tasty though.
Yeah, I wish I could eat more of it.
That
right
shit's
now.
hella good.
Right now.
I'm hungry.
I know. I'm hungry talking about it.
I made you guys curry.
Yeah.
It
That
was bomb as
delicious.
hell,
Yeah,
dude.
that was
So
delicious.
while I was getting everyone ready, I was making curry.
Mhm.
I
Yeah, AJ threw it down.
be honest though, you have curry in Japan.
Yeah, I had it
Was it like
multiple
it?
times. Dude, it was stupid fire.
Was mine kinda like it or no?
Yours was good. Yours was good, bro. Yours was good.
Good.
And I like the potatoes and the carrots and
There
all
was
the
no
things you put
potatoes
in
in
it.
that.
And yours?
There were potatoes. There were potatoes, weren't there? What was
the
that?
yellow
You're
thing?
my
I
Yeah,
ate?
I thought it
You-
was potatoes.
What was the yellow thing we were
what
I
eating?
was
want to
that?
know.
Huh?
What the hell? What was the
What
yellow
was it?
thing?
Oh, they poisoned us.
Clams.
No.
For real?
No. Yellow thing was I don't know parsnip or some shit. It was something. We have like a Costco bag of vegetables. I just threw that shit in.
Bro, that had to
Yo,
be
that's
potatoes.
crazy. That was a potato.
That was a
It wasn't
potato.
potatoes. I know what you're talking about. But it's
What the fuck did I feed you guys?
I don't know.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no. Our days are numbered. Yeah, bro. No, the Coco Ichibanyo, though, that's the spot.
Yeah, I was gonna go. I'm gonna go there tomorrow.
Wait.
There's one in Torrance.
Oh, you been there?
Yeah, I've been there.
Have you been to Japan?
No, I haven't been. My brother lives there.
Why don't you
But-
visit him?
I'm going to.
Can I come?
Yeah, please do. Yeah, please do. Yeah, he just got a new place. He's got a futon set out for me. He sent
What does
me
he
a
do
picture.
out there, if you don't mind me asking?
He does like IT stuff. He's just like being an IT.
wait, you got
Bro,
military?
I gotta get on
Yeah,
that.
he
IT
was
wave.
he was
Oh, okay.
yeah, he was in the
Wait, I can't hear
Navy
you.
and then he switched over. So he does like private security stuff now.
Test that.
Man's just balling over there.
Good.
test.
If he did IT, then you wouldn't be able to go.
Louder, Joe?
Test. I'll find a way.
Yeah, it works.
There's a will. There's a will.
Yeah.
Get on a boat.
Yeah.
Because
no.
we were talking about that. I thought you had to like, you told me this. I don't know if this is true. Like you have to have like a certain amount of
Yeah,
education
you have
and
to
shit.
have a bachelor's degree or 10 years of experience or
Yeah.
be in the military.
He was
or
in the
be,
Navy.
Yeah.
So he was doing that in the Navy, and then he got out, switched over to doing like contract work, and then now he's
Yeah.
like with a company, and he's
Like editing all the mics and shit.
I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna figure out a way over there.
yeah, me too.
Oh, okay.
I had a lot of fun.
So
when I
we
was
were
there.
talking about this,
Yeah.
but through the algorithm, I just saw some random short about a
Yeah.
guy who's living there for like a year, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm leaving."
So yeah, this sucks.
No,
Because
he was like, I've been here for like 2 years or 3 years. I come here every
Uh-huh.
year. Something is like, there's no way you really do. What do you call that? Like
assimilate to
assimilate. And
Japanese
just like
culture.
everyone's just like shitting on you secretly.
Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
is shitting on you secretly, and there's a saying that it's like you, no matter how much involved or assimilated to Japanese culture you are, you're still not Japanese.
exactly.
Yeah.
You'll never be like one of us. Is the kind of what I've got.
Oh
From it.
yeah, 100%. Even
Still, I don't
Yeah, I
give a
don't
fuck,
give a
bro.
fuck.
Dude,
Yeah,
people
just go
people
vibe.
don't like me here, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, I like at least you get to walk around
Yeah.
and be safe. Like, crime isn't a thing like it is out
Yeah,
here.
when you said
Like,
that shit, you're just running around at 3 a.m.
yeah, I was running around 3 a.m. with all my cameras, a smile on my face,
Mhm.
walk around, do whatever you
I
want.
think you
really.
can still find your pockets in there because that's
yeah,
how it
you
was
can
for
find.
my
I made a
brother,
lot
too.
of really good friends in
Yeah,
Japan,
they're such nice people. Like
and I don't care if they're hating on me on the low. I got Americans that are hating
In
on me on
reality,
the
yeah.
low.
Yeah.
I don't know why I even said that. In reality of it, when I went to that bar yesterday, I felt like people didn't even like me there.
No one
I was
even
like-
likes me.
What do you mean no one likes you there?
I don't know. I feel like at a time I was like, I'm the only Asian guy like ordering and shit. I was like, I think they're all shitting on me.
Staring or something. Yeah.
You know?
But I mean, yeah, a lot of that is just like, you got to meet the right people over here, just like over there too. I feel like,
Yeah,
that's a big
straight
part
up.
of it. Like my brother just was having a hard time like getting in because he got married like because my sister-in-law is Japanese and like
Oh, so
Oh,
he's
whole-
straight.
but the family aspect of it was tough because they
Yeah.
were like, oh, you're bringing up
No.
a black dude.
Yeah,
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what
yeah.
the hell. So like that was tough, but then they were like, "Oh, he makes how much? All right."
Oh, what the fuck?
And
that's what
Breaded?
fixed it.
yeah. They were like, "Oh, okay." So I mean, I don't know. I think it kind of depends on the situation.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%.
Mhm.
So I guess
But
he's
I
got to
definitely-
make bank.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
definitely
the
want to make
answer.
it out there because he was like, "Bro, I'll hook you up. Like, I could get you some." I was like, "Bro, I might have to." But I want to go like test the water. Like, I don't want to just full send move.
Yeah,
to
just go.
like I want to go
out
for
and
like a
have fun
month
there.
and then test it out. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I
Hey,
can't
could I
believe
live
you've never
here?
been.
Yeah, I know.
And how long has he lived there?
He's been there for like I don't know 7-8 years or so. He's been there
Oh,
like
shit.
since my freshman year of college. It was like it's been like
Oh.
like 6 or 7 years, something like that. It's been a while. He's
Yeah, you
he's
should
thriving.
go.
Yeah.
I want to just fucking visit. Every time I hear your stories and shit, I'm
Mhm.
Yeah, I had a really
It
good
seems
time.
so cool. I was supposed to go after I graduated, but that was the year that COVID started, like that March.
Oh yeah.
I came home for spring break and then I just never went back to school. Like we all just stayed
My
home
homie
and
got a
did
job
online.
there and then got deported because right when he got the job,
COVID.
COVID happened.
Exactly. Yep.
Fuck.
I was gonna say, it was like so that just fucked everything because my parents they were like, yeah, we're gonna pay, this is your college graduation trip, we're gonna pay for everything, I was like, say less. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
And then Rona came and I was like, fuck, like just ruined everything. I haven't found a good opportunity to go back yet.
Is your homie going back now after shit opened up?
Nah,
for
he said he
the
kind of just
opportunity?
lost contact with a lot of them, but he wants to go back. He had a lot of fun when he did go.
How long were you there for?
I was only there for like 12 days. Or like
But it was enough for
11
like an
days.
influence to want to move there type shit.
Yeah, well, just being, I got to play a show out there, and I got to meet a lot of really cool people out there, and yeah, just
The vibes.
fuck it, bro. Like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
This is a lot better than where I live. If you know where I live in the fucking trenches, bro. Like I fuck where I live. So, yeah.
You tell me some crazy ass stories. Like I think someone like fucking like a movie, like they rolled out their car or some shit.
Oh yeah, one time I saw somebody jump out of a moving car. I'd
Yeah.
never seen that in my life.
Yeah. You always see it in movies.
Yeah.
Why did they do that?
Yeah,
They were arguing with their mom, as far as I could
Your mom
piece
is gonna
together.
jump out.
She's like, fuck you, just jumped out, and it wasn't stunt double where they jump out and do a perfect roll. It was
Yeah.
like she ate shit, and I was just like behind them in the car, like, whoa,
Yeah.
what am I watching right
That's
now?
crazy. How fast was this like?
Not that fast, but you don't gotta go that fast for it to look fucking insane. They were probably
Yeah.
going like 15 to 20 miles an hour.
That's fast
Then
enough though.
jumped. Yeah,
Wait,
fast enough.
how much?
That's fast enough.
15 to 20 miles an
that's-
hour.
Pretty fucking fast.
Yeah.
That's pretty fast to
Yeah,
jump
yeah,
out of a
yeah.
moving
To
car.
jump, yeah, I was about to say because
You must really not fuck with your mom to do that.
that's pretty crazy.
But that's like one of the least crazy things I've seen.
I know. I just didn't want to blow,
Yeah, I
blow up the
don't
Don't
spot
blow
like
up the
that.
spot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use this opportunity to use the restroom while you guys
You're good.
talk amongst yourselves.
Brief intermission.
yeah.
All right, let's go fix the lighting and shit, Jill. Okay, now we're interviewing Jill. Everyone, you guys have
No,
questions?
I'm not a good. I'm not a
Interviewee.
good talker.
I think you're a good talker.
So, Joe, so what are you working on, Joe?
Well, I'm working on my new album.
Oh, your new album. Okay.
I'm gonna be going to Hasan's house
What the
next week.
fuck? Okay, let's move on to the next fucking.
I just
Alright.
got signed
No,
to.
what the fuck is this? All right, back to Saxon.
the man of the hour.
Hey.
So, do you have any other questions on your?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, where was I? 'Cause
Boxers or
kinda,
briefs?
We kind of jumped all around.
Yeah, we-
boxers.
Yeah.
Boxers for sure.
I'm briefs.
I'm
I'm
briefs.
briefs.
My boss likes
Dude, I don't want
Turn
my,
into
I don't
bubble
want my, I don't want my
You
ball
wear, like,
sex.
the tightest
I needed to
boxers.
breathe.
Yeah.
Oh, is that boxer briefs?
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
need
Brief-
some.
I don't.
AJ wears Calvin Klein.
I wear. I
the
wear.
fuck
Nice stuff.
Damn.
Yeah.
I wear polo.
Oh,
Horsepower.
I think I just wear names. Yeah.
like Animorph.
But yeah, next question I had was sort of, we were talking about the digging a little bit before. I was kind of curious because when I had AJ on my other podcast, I asked him like what was sort of the process of like how do you find samples for
Don't say the channels. Don't say the channels.
I'm
Don't say the
yeah,
channels.
no, I'm
like,
not gonna
Don't say
I'm
the
saying
channels.
like the process
So
of
when I
like you're
first-
making a beat and then you're like looking for samples.
So when I first started digging for records, you don't really know anything, and you kind of just go for like the obvious ones, like the ones that are in a lot of Goodwills, a lot of thrift stores, George Benson and stuff like that. And then you kind of familiarize yourself with certain artists, and then when you're digging through records, you look at the back of the record, you see like what like who the lineup is on the band, and you're like, you might recognize the dude on the flute or the dude on drums or whatever.
Yeah.
And you can do that. And then there's also like the famous Alchemist rule that's like if there's a hot girl on the cover, like almost naked, it's probably a really fire record.
Nice.
And that sounds kind of like just some horn dog shit, but like it really is true a lot of the time. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's because you know they're about to make some
heat,
sexy
yeah.
ass fucking bangers. Like, I don't know.
I mean, my experience with that is like a lot of times, like easy listening music still has that shit.
Yeah.
But that shit goes hard too.
Sometimes easy listening's.
Yeah.
And then sometimes easy listening's kind of hard to listen to.
Yeah.
Despite its genre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of goes everywhere. For e-digging, because I guess it's different. There's like e-digging and then real life digging. Digging through the crates, as the old heads say.
Yeah.
You can dig through shit like on the internet, and you just find certain channels that might be curated to the sounds that you're trying to find. Or just digging through, especially with soul records, you listen to like Barry White and then you're like, oh, okay, what did Barry White produce for other people? Or even Smokey Robinson he did so much production credit and contributions to other artists on Motown. So you go through the whole Motown catalog, you go through all these different catalogs, you kind of realize that there's it's a really like endless
Yeah, you'll have like
rabbit
enough to
hole
eat
to
for a
dig
long ass
through.
time.
Yeah, for sure. And then you could flip stuff that's like famous, but it's kind of more frowned upon for producers because they're always kind of trying to be like, I want to find the shit that no one's touched yet, or that I guess it's like if you're a producer producing for other producers, or if you're producing for casual listeners or whatever, because sometimes flipping something famous is what gets you fame,
like
because
clicks
people will be
and,
like, oh my
listens.
God, that's that one song I love so much,
Yeah.
like I Can't Wait by New Shoes and all those kind of songs, 80s more pop songs or radio bangers.
Yeah.
But I definitely like to try to find the stuff that no one's touched yet. And if I do stuff that other people have touched, which is almost inevitable because there's so many producers, you just got to try to chop it differently or approach it differently, Usually people who are a lot more skilled at producing, they can take like multiple songs, chop them up and use different elements to layer over one another and make a song that is going to sound way different than other people's, or taking songs of different time signatures and chopping them up to be in 4/4 or in 6/8 or whatever it wasn't, and then that makes for a more unique flip.
Yeah. I like that. That's what's up. I think I kind of wanted to contrast the two now because you sort of make beats like we were just here the other day. I was watching you like mess around making beats and stuff, and then sort of like contrast that with like playing live. Like what is that like in terms of
playing
like,
live,
and all that stuff?
playing live is kind of nerve-wracking. Especially, I liked rapping live way more because it was like a lot more animated. You're allowed to be like out and about. People can hear you and the emotion you're saying things with and the way you're projecting your voice. But when you're making beats and you're playing them live, I'm not a dude who likes finger drumming. I don't get I don't get
air music. Like
when people send me that, like people send me videos, yo, check this dude out, and it's some guy like
Yeah.
And it's some shit that like just literally doesn't sound good. You're like listening to the music with your eyes.
I know that.
Like
Yeah,
you're just seeing it like, wow, that's dope. But you
Yeah.
close your eyes, you're like, I would never listen to this song.
Yeah.
I'm more focused on just making a good song.
Mhm.
And
What
then
do
when
think
you
the balance is, though?
when you play live, I don't really finger drum or anything.
Yeah,
I'll just
yeah.
play the song and add cuts and
Mm-hmm.
add like, might do like a remix of a song that I'll play stuff that I don't have released or whatever to try to make it interesting. But it also kind of varies on the vibe of the venue, how everyone else is being receptive to the music you're putting out. But yeah, for the most part, I just have like a mix, play cuts, add effects to it, and just kind of take that approach as opposed to people just finger drumming.
Yeah.
Not hating on people who finger drum. If you finger drum, that's cool, but I don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah.
It's not for me. You're doing it for someone else, and that's 1,000%
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the balance though? It's
Finger
like,
drumming looks cool though
does look
to
cool.
people who are not.
But I have your
into-
experience with it where I'm
Yeah.
like, someone would be like, oh, they're doing all this.
You know what-
And they're
Yeah.
like, sounds like ass though.
you know what that's equivalent to in Melee?
Yeah.
It's really having like crazy tech skill.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can't do anything in bracket.
Yeah.
Like,
But
yeah.
You have
like
no
you
neutral.
could multi-shine, but you can't do shit
That's
outside of
insane.
that, you know?
Like, yeah.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to think about what the fuck is like the balance though. Like, how could you record a good ass beat, but
make it,
still
like,
kind of be
spectator.
visually
Yeah.
it looks cool, you know?
Make it cool for the audience.
Like I don't know what the
Is
fuck.
there yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Turntablism looks cool. Live scratching, I guess, would look kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, for like production. If you're playing an Alchemist beat or something, but for a video, I'm saying this for like content fucking reasons and stuff.
Yeah.
If I was playing a beat live, you could have other sound effects, other things that you're playing. People could see you hitting those buttons and turning those knobs or whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess that'd be like
Kind of like what DJs
it's like the
do,
middle
which
ground.
like it's
yeah.
like
yeah.
in reality, but it's like probably didn't need to.
Yeah.
Didn't need to do
I
that.
need to turn
Doing
that.
a
You
lot
just
of
need to
that.
look busy.
Yeah. Exactly. Like it's like you're working type shit,
But I guess the rapping equivalent would be just having a backing track and saying the ad libs.
Yeah.
No diss to Playboy Cardi, but that kind of music, they're just kind of like they have bars in the song, but they won't even say those bars. They'll just be like, yeah, and put the mics in.
Mhm.
Everyone's
And
like,
everyone-
yeah. And that's like,
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah. I think it depends on like what your sort of goal is with it too, right? Like if your goal is to have like a super dope like spectator experience where everyone's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, and then it's like some people just want to come and listen to good ass music and don't
Yeah,
care as
yeah,
much
for
about
sure.
For some reason, I don't know why I'm even thinking about this in the first place. Have you guys ever seen that video of Fergie or some shit and she's doing like fucking flips
yeah,
and she's singing? She's like, oh,
yeah.
and she's like fucking tumbling and shit.
Shout out
Like, dude,
Fergie,
it sounds
though.
like shit.
Yeah, it sounds like shit, but that's
Yeah,
entertaining.
that's
If I
what
was
I'm saying,
there,
yeah,
I'd be,
like,
I'd
if you're
be
there,
hyped.
you're getting hyped. You're like, oh shit.
Did she also sing like the national anthem, like really bad?
Yeah, all that shit. I'm not trying to shit on Fergie. I'm just saying, like,
Oh,
she was
yeah,
like
I fuck
fucking
with Fergie.
doing flips, like
Mhm.
boss singing.
I'm gonna start next beat set I play. I'll do backflips and shit. Try to entertain the people.
Yeah.
I'll do a backflip and my headphones are attached and it just rips all the cords and everything flies everywhere. I'm
That
all,
shit would be
"Whoops."
hype. Oh man.
Alright. Now that you put the album out, do you have any next projects you're working on, or is it kind of like you were talking about having like this post-album depression kind of feeling where it's like, what the fuck is the next thing to do? Or
I mean, I think I don't want to put out a beat tape again. That might be the last beat tape ever. I want to just work primarily with rappers because that's what I originally started doing. The beats weren't meant to be listened to by themselves, even though I like listening to them by themselves. But I would like to just work with more rappers and eventually play more shows, go on tour, and just make memories with people. That's the whole reason I started making music in the first place. So if I make a beat and it speaks to a rapper and they write some shit that really means a lot to them, and then we have that kind of connection, and then the listener hears that and they have a connection to the beat or the lyrics or something, and they come and see it live and they enjoy it, and it kind of snowballs into just creating memories.
yeah, you talked about that with me previously. It was like why you got into this, but also like I don't know. I don't want to go in details.
It wasn't supposed to be so self-serving.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say.
It was
It's
meant
like,
to be more like so that I could connect with people.
Mhm.
And when I went to Japan and played a show out there, that's kind of like how I felt, because for a long time making beats did feel really self-serving, especially because I wasn't releasing them. So it kind of just felt like, oh, this is just a thing I do for me because it helps me pass the time and it's a way for me to express myself. But when I went to Japan and I couldn't speak the language and they couldn't speak English, but we had such a respect and mutual love for one another because music that I had made in my room was being played on the other side of the world and they were connecting with it. And music was just kind of like the international language that we all understood and respected.
yeah.
That's when it like clicked in my head that I was like, oh, fuck, I really want to take this more seriously and use this as a vehicle to connect with people.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't matter where in the world they are as long as they like it and I like it. That's the beauty of music, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's the superior language.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
Like the people who came up to you
Yeah.
and they couldn't even speak English. You guys couldn't
But we
even
still
communicate with
kinda
each other.
would
We're
be
like,
yeah.
"Ah."
They'd be like,
Yeah.
where did you know, they would ask about like samples, or they'd be like, where are you digging for records? And I'd be like, oh, I don't really remember the store. And I'm like trying to say it in a way that's digestible to
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
And then they're like, oh, Shibuya, record heaven. I'm like, yeah, Shibuya is record heaven, you know? But
Mhm.
other than that, there wasn't a lot of communication. It was just like a mutual understanding
Yeah.
that we're both hella about
Into-
this shit
yeah,
on,
yeah.
on different sides of the world.
Is that
you know?
crazy? It doesn't just stop at Japan though. Like,
Oh,
see,
not
like,
at all.
when you're,
Yeah.
if like
Anywhere.
when you're like, you know, you're pushing this dream or like, you know, this
Yeah.
passion. This shit could be like, it doesn't just have to be long, like, you know.
Yeah, and you could get
California,
really
yeah.
wrapped up. Like I got wrapped up in just like what people in LA thought of me, or what people in New York or the Bay Area, or like wherever like hot spots are where the American needs to go to pursue music.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, fuck that. Like there's like, I could care less. Like there's so many places in the world, and someone in LA liking your music isn't more valuable than someone in Brazil liking your music.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're all people that,
Mhm.
and if they like it, that's fucking sick, you know, and get in where you fit in. So it kind of helped me put my hair down and be like, oh, I'm not going to trip about what a local community is thinking when there's a whole world out there.
Yeah.
And that being said, hip hop's in like an ever evolving place, especially in America. And people are way more receptive to hip hop in all other parts of the world than America, even though America is like undisputedly the place that created hip hop.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's probably the least respected here than it is anywhere else in the world, which is pretty crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think for Japan as well, it's really interesting because it's like more of an underground kind of scene, like especially
Yeah.
with the way that the culture is and everything.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
hip hop is like expressing yourself, whereas Japanese culture sometimes can often be the opposite. So like the people that are like really there about it are
Yeah.
like diehard fans for sure. I think that's a really dope
Yeah.
contrast.
Every photo you showed me of anyone, just like some random person at a bar, was also like really. It seemed like they were really like cultured and shit. Like they were really into like cool ass clothes
Yeah,
and shit.
they're all dripped
Like,
out.
dude, the
They're
fuck?
all
It's like
having hella
3 a.m.
fun.
at a bar. I was like, the fuck?
And it's like me just kicking it with all these fools. Yeah, and it'd be like young people, or I'd be kicking it with people that are like 65.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
just
yeah.
kicking it with everybody. Like
Yeah.
I was just making friends out there. It was a lot of fun.
That's super
And they were all
cool.
really respectful. They were like a little bit taken back by like tattoos or about certain things, but not in a negative way. It was just, you could tell a little bit foreign to them.
Mhm.
No pun intended. And then they would just take pictures of your tattoos or whatever, and they'd just, you know, even if there's a language barrier, they'd be like, oh, nice boy,
Mhm.
or they'd just say things
Mhm.
to you that kind of implied like, I'm in a really good place
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
These
Yeah.
people are really fucking cool.
Mhm.
I mean, comparing. I don't know. I don't want to shit on my area. I don't want to shit on.
Dude, I was being friends. There was an Indian restaurant in Japan that I was going to like every day outside of my Airbnb, and I became friends with them and spoke with them and like got their names, and we were really close. And then I was thinking about like the taqueria I go to every day out here, and I'm like, I'm not friends with any of these fools. Like they don't, and they don't have any interest in being
Uh-huh.
friends, you know? Like everyone's just, I don't know. It's just not as friendly of a place.
Yeah.
And crime might be an indicator. It might, like at an early age, kind of set people off to be very to themselves. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm already.
Shout.
I'm already someone that's like very to themselves, especially walking around out here. But when I was in Japan, I was very like, I'm a lot more outgoing. And I noticed when I travel in general, even in other parts of America, I'm a lot more outgoing. But when I'm in my neighborhood, I'm just to myself. I don't want to look at nobody. I don't want no one to look at me. I've made friends with some people that might come across as very intimidating or scary.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like I walked up to him and was like, hey. It was like it took a long time to break that shell and get them to be like, oh, what's up?
Yeah.
There's a dude on my block that's scary as fuck. And he looked like he wanted to kill me every time I saw him. He's got face tats, like hella buff ass fool. Definitely been through some shit.
I was like, hey, some sex.
Well, it was when my scooter got stolen because, like I said, my neighborhood fucking sucks. And I was gone for like a couple, however long, like a week. My homies were on a tour and I went on tour with them. And I came back and my scooter was gone. I had this Honda Elite. It was hella sick. I miss it every day. And I remember walking, I was pissed off, ready to, I wasn't scared of anyone. Like usually I'm like, I'm not going to talk to this dude.
Yeah.
I walk up and I see him there and he's looking all scary and he sees me walking up to him. And then I was like, yo, have you seen my fucking scooter? Like someone fucking stole my shit. And then he's like, no, I don't fuck with thieves though. What's your name? And then I shook his hand and then we became cool with each other. He's like, I'm gonna check my camera and I'll see if anyone stole shit. That's fucked up, bro.
Okay, that's like.
And then ever since then I see him, I'm like, yo, what up, man? He's like, yo, what's up?
I thought the story didn't change. Totally different. I thought like.
That's such a nice.
No, I thought you were just like,
that was beautiful.
You're looking at your bike and you just see him like a big bully. He's on your bike.
He's all,
like,
no, I don't know where your scooter is. I gotta go though. And then he gets on it and drives off.
Yeah, dude. On the fucking Friday show, bro.
Nah, he didn't try to debo me.
Okay.
That's fucking the Friday special. Yeah, I think. That's all. That's all.
all you have?
For,
Okay.
For questions, yeah, I think we could just.
I think that's it on my end too.
Yeah.
If there's any other topics you want to talk about, or anything you want to promote.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Go listen to Unifying Factors and listen to it to the point where you like it enough to buy a physical copy because I have cassettes coming out soon.
Dude,
there you go.
I'm telling you, I want a fucking T-shirt of the album artwork.
I'm gonna need like 25 more
that
people
shit
to
like
want that
fucking
too.
Ice Spice for a second.
I'm gonna like
Yeah.
how can I come if I already came?
Some of the designs are really
Thank
fucking
you.
cool.
Do you have any
Thank you,
like
yeah.
I don't know, fucking
I'll make some
ideas on how?
shirts.
Do
I'll
you have
make
any
some
ideas
shirts,
on how
but
like push like the album like crazy?
come here and talk to you guys?
Yeah.
Um,
Just fucking.
this was my end all be all. I didn't have anything
big
else
ass-
to do.
I
Big
can
ass-
promote it in my classroom.
Little
Please
kids,
do,
like,
bro.
little
Get the little
kids.
kids. I
Little
need the
kids.
new generation to get hip,
I'll
bro.
just
Next
be like,
wave.
you guys want to listen to some cool music?
Some cool.
So
Get your Chromebooks
what-
out.
When everyone's studying, and then like Ausier's fucking intro comes on,
Yeah.
little kids.
New Peet Weber, you dickhead. Come to school, everyone's saying that. That'd be
Yeah.
hard. That would be
hard.
I'd be
That would
tearing
Get
up.
you 30 more listeners.
Let's go.
Yeah,
That's all I
yeah,
need.
yeah.
30 more.
Hey. All right, since we're closing out, what's like your IG, your Twitter, your
Yeah,
What
put it all
website
up there.
is
You
it?
could do my link tree is linktr.ee/Peet Weber, I think is what it is. And that also has my photography portfolio on there. That has all the stuff on Biased. That has my Twitch channel that I never use. That has Spotify, Apple,
God damn it, dude.
Instagram.
I feel
Dude, you had one good ass stream. That was a good
That was a
fucking
good ass
stream.
stream.
Would
That
you do
was
it
a good
again?
stream.
When
Yeah,
was this? I
sure.
wasn't there.
You weren't there. No,
Fuck.
it was
and, dude,
here.
and we didn't record the VOD, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I did
Because the
a
VOD just didn't
When-
save.
I did an Ice Spice remix.
It was
I know
good.
Those
It
aren't
was
very
good.
popular
Anymore.
People really don't like when you flip Ice Spice. It's like a
Yeah.
producer no.
Oh,
no, yeah.
really?
The thing is, I was like,
Mine was cool though.
it was early on though. Earlier on, before there was like a set rule kind of thing, you know? Because everyone's
Yeah.
fucking doing
why,
it now.
Why do people not?
Not just like it's
It's
overdone.
just being done a lot. But
Yeah.
I mean, I was having fun with it,
Yeah.
and it was cool.
Yeah. I feel like yours was like earlier on, you know?
Yeah.
Before
Before it got corny.
it got corny, you know? Just
That's always how it goes.
Uh-huh.
You got to do stuff before it gets corny, and then it gets corny, and you cry and die inside.
I think it was pretty cool to hear about like the relationship between like the producers and the rappers, kind of, because I feel like maybe more casual people might not
think about it that way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't think about like, oh hey, this rapper is fucking with this beat. Like a lot of times, like even myself, before I sort of understood how music worked, I was just like, I always thought that the rappers kind of just did everything because
just
like,
the guy, because they're on the forefront. They're the face
it's
of
like,
it.
It's like
yeah.
actors, right? It's like like,
but it's like nah. There's a
actors
whole
get all the
producer.
credit,
There's
but
a whole
in reality,
director and lighting and all kinds of dudes that are making this work. But the guy in the front of the camera gets all the love.
Gets the love, yeah. So I think that getting I was like, especially since I was introduced to AJ, I like listening to producers and talking to producers. And
yeah, now
to hear more about that.
Now I feel like in this day and age, producers do get a little bit more love than they used to,
for sure.
And they kind of brand themselves more like rappers.
You kind of have to.
They be dripped out. They ask, take a picture of me, post this on my socials, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they, you can brand yourself that way, but yeah, it's interesting. It is really cool. I like seeing now, especially because like Madlib and Alchemist and all these dudes have been in the game for so long, but they get to be on the forefront to a degree. Every rapper wants to work with them.
Yeah,
they're definitely touching money. They're putting out their own merch. They're branding themselves in ways that other producers didn't used to.
Yeah.
It was always just kind of like, I'm waiting on the success of a rapper to take me wherever I can go. But even then, they're still kind of in the back,
they're in
on the back burner and not touching as much money or doing whatever.
Yeah.
Or not even like credited.
Yeah.
They're like fucking, I don't know.
Dude, there's a lot of things
know how to
I'm
do
not
that
credited
shit.
on. So.
I was about to say, I don't think producers get a lot of credit because the reality is like, it would be more mainstream. Like they're like casual people don't even.
They don't know what a producer is.
Yeah, exactly. They're just like, okay, yeah, there's just a guy whose name is.
But
in
it's
the
like
credits.
one thing that someone said that kind of stuck with me as a good fighting point was, you listen to instrumental albums. You don't listen to a cappella albums.
Facts.
You need the producer more than you need the rapper.
100%.
The producer is more important than the rapper, but we don't see that as.
It's crazy.
I always want to hear that from your point of view, because to me, you're like on both sides.
Yeah.
Both.
Like I'll talk about the production all the time, or I'll think about the instrumental. But unfortunately, when I listen to fucking like rap albums, I'm focusing on the instrumental so much that I'm not listening to like what they're like crafting and how they're conveying it and all this shit, the flow, which like you carefully think about.
Yeah.
But I never, that's not my spot to say because I don't.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even looking at the other side, But,
rapping is sometimes, a lot of the time, harder than producing. They're both really hard.
Yeah.
They both deserve a lot of love. But without the producer, the music is simply not being made.
Facts.
So.
Like I think they deserve like equal love or
Yeah.
something like that,
Yeah.
Like, but a lot of the time,
I want to go into no. Well, I was about to say something way too sketchy.
Let's go press rate. We'll press
I was
rate.
about to be like, I want to see like a teenager's room with a producer poster, but then I was like, I want to see a teenager's room. I was like, I don't want to say that. That's for sure not what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But like in movies and stuff,
Yeah,
the
exactly,
kids' room has like
you want
Eminem
people
poster
looking up
and
to the
fucking
producers.
you want people to be like, damn, this fool knows how to fucking make a beat.
Yeah. I find that's not too rare.
Yeah.
That's not rare. I think I could see people putting like
Maybe eventually.
I think it's
No,
more
I still-
rare.
because people have a picture of like their favorite guitarist or of a
Yeah,
band or
I
something,
think it's more rare
but
than
they don't
having
have.
the
I don't
musician.
doubt people have like fucking I don't know like. Well, it's also like branding is really important,
Yeah, 100%.
So, like-
But even with the budget cuts, or not budget cut, but the budget that they're given,
Yeah.
it's always going to the rapper.
Yeah, it's true.
The rapper's like, I'll put X money aside for the producer. The producer's never getting a budget. Like
Yeah.
they're not just handing the producer the money
Yeah,
to
facts,
be
facts,
like,
facts.
yo, I need you to brand yourself hella crazy
Yeah.
so people know.
Know who
I
you
feel like
are.
Kanye might have been a producer, but even then he started rapping. But I mean, he gets a lot of love for his production.
Yeah.
Can't say I'm too big of a Kanye fan though.
Oh, fuck. Before we cut this off, you see that shit he posted?
No,
He posted
I already
some
know
shit.
it's like the dumbest shit.
Dude,
I've
it was the
ever
dumbest
seen in
shit.
my
He
life.
was like,
No, was it?
all this stuff about what the fuck did he say? Like, because remember he was talking about hating like Jewish people. We was talking about last.
that's like why.
But he said that he was watching what movie was it, Joe? 21 Jump Street, and he said he was like, it was unfair of me to hate every person in one race based on like what the few have done or something. And then he said, because I saw 21 Jump Street. And I think he posted it like at 1 a.m. or something. He was like, because I watched Trinity Jump Street, I've changed my mind.
That's so
He was
crazy.
like, Jonah Hill, thank you.
Oh my! That's crazy.
Holy shit.
The only reason I know that is I saw a tweet saying like everyone's just waiting for Jonah Hill to wake up so he sees this
That was
fucking
this
post.
morning, right?
No. Well, yeah.
Oh, it was last night.
It was like it posted last night, but they're all waiting for him
I
to wake
saw
up.
people today posting pictures of Jonah Hill and Kanye together, and I was like, I wonder what the hell.
Now we
people,
get
what
the
the, now I got the
backstory, yeah.
backstory. I get the
That's
references
so
now.
funny.
Thank you.
Okay. But yeah, and on that note, thanks for coming. I'm so fucking sorry. This took like 7 hours to start the podcast.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I already did all my work for the day.
Mm-hmm. It was
Yeah,
good.
no, it was a great time. I had fun.
Yeah. When we started, it had sunlight, and now
Yeah,
it's.
now it's gone. Bye, everybody.
All right. As I'm pressing raid,
Who's in your chat?
Christian's here and Panther. Hi, Panther.
Wait.
Before, as I'm saying raid, or as I'm raiding, let's go say hi. That's Joe's cousin, Christian.
Hi, Christian.
Hey,
What do you mean? Wait, I'm already raiding.
Don't watch Cocaine Bear.
That movie was shit.
It was garbage. Yeah, it was a bad
I don't
movie.
know.
It was pretty.
Who has the best feet?
Not me.
I feel like I have like Fred Flintstone feet. That's pretty good though.
Yeah, not me.
Christian, I was gonna go to a nail salon in Long Beach, but I felt guilty. I was like, I don't want the ladies to see it. They can't hear your mic, but
Getting a pedicure and having them have to smell the.
Yeah.
there you go. Talk.
Feet.
They're like, we need backup.
I'm watching Cocaine Bear right now and can confirm it's shit. Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, we're watching while setting it
I
up.
don't think it's meant to be a serious movie.
I mean, I
I
don't,
don't
yeah.
know. Even for a non-serious movie, it was really bad.
I was about to say, like, it had like, I was just laughing because of how bad it was, like,
Mhm.
not because it was funny.
Money was spent to make
All right,
that
Yeah, I
movie.
was
5
like,
seconds. 5, 4,
Bye-bye.
3.
Bye, everyone. I love you all. Listen to my shit.
Listen to the tape.